as they seem? I said,
no.
Yes, nobody's pretending.
No, you should have said no. They're much crazier, actually.
Well, I mean, they come off pretty crazy here. I mean, they're always, taking each other's temperatures and all kinds of stupid crap. And they're that crazy outside, too.
Craig Gass is here. He's a comedian.
Crazy, too.
That's another story.
Yeah. I hear you guys know crazy.
Yeah.
He called me last night. He goes, I want to come in as Kinnison, and then I want to leave.
He doesn't want to be Craig Gass.
No, he wants to come in for 5 minutes.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Has he ever left after 5 minutes?
Never. That guy loves to hear himself talk.
I know.
Howard, he comes in an hour early before our shows and does a half-hour sound check. The sound man looks like he wants to blow his brains out.
Dude, what was that whole game plan? And he calls me at home, and I never pick up, ever.
Really?
No, I heard him. I heard him say, he goes, yeah, it's Craig. And I go,
How does he have your number?
I was stupid. I gave him my number one time. I don't know. I've never picked up.
I've called him a dozen times. He's never picked up.
No, I know. I hear.
Take a hint.
And sometimes he even does his Gary impression. He goes, it's Gary, boss. Pick up. And I don't pick up.
Yeah, because you got to put in a little thing that says, say who this is. Boop.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Gary.
And then, he doesn't pick up.
So you wanted to come in as... You never want to come in just as Kinnison and then leave. I love that
think
idea.
maybe it might be a reaction to every time I come in and I start talking about myself, and you go, who gives a we don't want to hear you. Do Kinnison. My God.
He goes, you know how David Letterman comes in and he's Letterman the whole time and then he just leaves? So that's what I'm going to do. And I go, okay.
Well, at least call me and say no.
No.
No?
I don't want to discuss
No?
Bums me out.
All
That's what Gary's for. And Gary even says to me, I talked to Craig. And then Craig goes, hey, I talked to Gary. I told him, I just want to come in as Kinnison. I said to Gary, Craig called me and told me the plan. He goes, what plan? Craig never called me.
So you didn't talk to Gary?
It wasn't a plan. I said, hey, what do you think about this? Call me back.
I feel good. You want to be Kinnison?
Yeah.
Are you going to leave after 5 minutes?
Get a stopwatch.
And what are you going to do? You're all prepared, and then in 5 minutes you're going to leave?
No, fine. We'll do whatever.
You got material or what?
Let's talk about us traveling together.
Do your Tracy Morgan first.
Kinnison doing Craig Gass.
He goes, I don't want to come in and just do my greatest hits. I'll just be Kinnison. I don't even know. Do you have material as Kinnison?
I would love to do Tracy Morgan, but you don't know who Tracy is.
He's
Tracy,
a black comedian.
Black dude from Saturday Night Live he's like one of the craziest guys. You got to have him on the show.
Who does a Tracy Morgan? I don't even know it.
Just me. I'm the only dude. I'm the only dude. Yeah, he sounds all black and...
That's very funny right there.
That's crazy.
I used to write for Weekend Update, and I met him at the show, and he was just like so non-sequiturs. Every time I saw the guy, he invited me to open up for him at the New York Comedy Club. I came down and I did the show with him. He walks me over to the bar, buys me a drink, and he goes, so how you feel about this? How you like this? And I go, like what? This comedy club? And he goes, no, comedy. How you like it? And I go, oh, I love it. It's great. I'm head over heels in love with comedy. He goes, you got to be like Bruce Lee in a 6-foot kick. And I go,
what?
The what? And he goes,
you don't know about Bruce Lee in a 6-foot kick? They say when Bruce Lee kick you, you go back 6 feet. That's why when people are like, how you living, Tracy? I'm like, I'm 6-foot kicking it.
You got a 6-foot kick your way through life. And he started getting like in my face, and I go, what the f about? I mentioned it to my friend Kurt Metzger, who's a writer he was writing for the Chappelle Show at the time, and Kurt goes, dude, I was in a car with Tracy on the West Side Highway. He's driving the car, and I go, oh, did I tell you the Chappelle Show got picked up for a second season, man? So that's kind of cool. I should be making some extra money. He said that Tracy got pissed and pulled the car over the side of the road. He goes, goddamn, Kurt, the you? What are we in right now, Kurt? What are we in? He goes, a car?
No, we in show business, Kurt. We in show business. How many letters in the word show?
And he goes, 4.
How many letters in the word business?
8.
Don't you forget that shit, Kurt.
And he got back on the road and he goes, the about?
So you never know what he's talking about ever?
Never. I saw him a year ago in Hollywood.
That's exactly how he sounds.
Yes.
I saw him a year ago in Hollywood. I was on a date with a girl. It was my first date with this girl.
I mean, if Tracy Morgan would only get bigger, this would be your best impression.
I see Tracy. I walked out of the Comedy Store, and I'm with this girl, and I did the dumbest move. I see this Tracy Morgan standing in front of the Hyatt, and I looked at this girl, and I go, hey, that's Tracy Morgan. You want to go say hi to him? I think I'm going to impress this girl. We walk over, and I go, Tracy, what's up? And he turns around, and he's wasted.
Hey! What's up?
And I was like, Tracy, what's going on? And I go, Tracy, this is Kim. She's visiting from San Diego. And he goes, who? And I go, it's Kim. And he goes, Kim? You going to suck his He wrapped his hand around her face and shoved her face out of the way. And we were both like, he
sounds like a funny guy.
You know,
he's one of the funniest. He's one of the funniest.
He never caught on Saturday Night Live, though, did he?
He's one of those guys where I think sometimes he's being funny, but he doesn't realize he's being funny.
Oh.
I can't do the impression. That's one of the best impressions I've ever heard.
Crazy.
But one time I played in a celebrity softball game with Norm and Tracy Morgan down in like Florida or something, and we played the Jacksonville Jaguars football team. They were kicking the living us. We were winning like 15-0, and the whole crowd were Jacksonville Jaguar fans. So they were cheering, going crazy. Like they were so happy that we were getting our. So I get the ball from the outfield. I throw it to Tracy Morgan, who's pitching, and he's got a real happy look on his face. And we're getting our crowd's all happy, and I go, "What are you happy about?" He goes, "Artie, man, this crowd is mortified. They're mortified, man." And he was happy that I don't know what
does this guy do now?
You know what? I just heard he's doing a show that Tina Fey wrote. It's
he's on that show, yeah.
Alec Baldwin, Tracy Morgan.
That sitcom that they're doing about?
Yeah, so it's going to be on the fall, so hopefully it'll be big. So
what do you think his point was? Was he upset that you brought up the name Dave Chappelle? Was he jealous of Dave Chappelle's success? Is that why
Well, it's really interesting, because that night when I saw him in front of the Hyatt, he was saying sense. I said, "Tracy, how you been?" He goes, "How I been? Look at my car. See that car right there? That's my car from Punk'd. Did you see Punk'd?" And I go, "Yeah, I saw Punk'd." He goes, "Yeah, that's my car." They're going to be like, "There go there go Tracy on 3rd Street. There go Tracy on..." You know how they say that about Dave Chappelle? There go Dave Chappelle on 3rd Street. And I was looking at him going, what the f*** about?
No, he doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
He just
he was beginning to get into a little trouble. There were a couple of Page 6 stories about him being a little inebriated and not quite there, and a couple of traffic mishaps in that car.
I remember seeing him at, I opened up for, I was opening up for Chappelle at Caroline's, and Tracy, I had heard he had a crazy party the weekend before. And I saw him, and I go, "Hey, I heard about your party. I heard it's pretty crazy." He goes, "Man, you got to come down. It's crazy. All kinds of yeah." And I go, "Oh, yes." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Tell your boy, come down." And I was like, "Who's
your boy?"
I don't even know if he recognizes my face, doesn't know from where. And I go, "Yeah." And at the end of the night, he gets thrown out of the bar for starting a fight with a customer in the bar. And then he goes, "Hey, come here." "Yeah," and I'm trying to avoid his look, because I don't know if he's going to try to start a fight with me, too, so I'm looking around, he goes, "Hey!" And I'm not looking at him, "Hey!" And I just, "Yeah, come here!" And I walked over, I go, "Hey, what's going on?" And he goes, "Hey, I'm having a party up the road. Tell your boy, Dave Chappelle." And I was like, "Oh, all right, cool." So I walked over to Chappelle in the dressing room, I go, "Dave, Tracy invited us to a party, man." He goes, "That's cool. Wait, Tracy Morgan? That dude's fucking crazy. Watch out for that dude."
He's got like when he got Saturday Night Live, he was living like a block from Yankee Stadium. He's from the South Bronx. He's got like a bunch of kids, and
so he
really needed the gig. And
I feel like when people get Saturday Night Live, they think their lives are going to change, and it doesn't always work out for them.
Most people, it doesn't, actually.
Yeah.
But, there's the few Sandlers where it really does, you know.
Even the people who succeed on the show say that it's a nightmare to work there.
Well, I mean, I think they get the job there, and they expect, like, they're going to be in movies.
You're going to be Bill Murray.
Superstardom, yeah.
Like that first cast, almost everybody broke out.
Yeah, except for, what's that black dude's name?
Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris and Lorraine Newman. Nothing ever happened for either one.
Lorraine Newman. Yeah, you never heard from her again. But everybody
Tracy
else.
Morgan had a sitcom. He had his own show.
The Tracy Morgan.
For like
Tracy Morgan show. That's crazy.
Nowadays, show business, you could have your own show and people forget you. Like you had your own show on for a year on network TV, and
you're nothing.
Yeah, people don't remember who you are.
I think, Craig, didn't you take Gary the Retard to a Saturday Night Live party and introduce him to Tracy Morgan?
Oh, that's right. What did you say?
Craig, by the way, takes Gary the Retard all over the place.
If I have him for a couple of days, no one else is going to travel around with him.
What do you mean if you have him for a couple of days? What do you mean?
If we do these comedy shows, and nobody else is going to hang with him during the day, so I got to spend time with him.
You feel bad for him?
Absolutely, and then we'll hang out.
Who brings him along? Sal?
We have to have somebody fly with him to get out of Portland.
So, Sal, you don't even hang out with Gary the Retard? You just leave him in a room?
No, not at all. We hang out with Gary at the show.
For the most part, you leave him in his room.
No.
Did he get in trouble in his room?
No, he hangs out with us all day. Me and Richard took him golfing last time.
We're on these comedy
you took him for golf?
Yeah, we have it on video.
Well, they take him and goof on it.
We put eggs down instead of golf.
He loves it, though.
What happened? Did he hit the eggs? And would he get pissed?
Yeah.
We let him drive the golf cart. He was doing donuts, almost tipped it over.
Where is the tape? tape. Put it on Howard TV.
We gave it to Doug Goodstein.
Goodstein, what's the matter with you?
No, we're still waiting for the Yucko prank. It's been 4 months.
I know.
I don't know what's going on.
Remember when they told you about what was it, some kind of cart you put him on in a department store?
Yeah. That was on. That went on there, yeah.
Okay.
That was really Doug, what's going on with those pranks? Everybody wants
a lot of that we still have to give to him, though.
You never gave me a tape.
You didn't give him that one yet, Rich?
No.
Okay, I'm
put that
sorry.
on in 2 seconds.
Okay, Rich,
because it's still got to be edited and everything.
Just give it to Doug and he'll take care of it.
Hey, for Halloween, Howard, we dressed up Gary the retard as Adolf Hitler, and it was.
And we didn't tell Bob Levy about it. Bob Levy's on stage getting ready to go. All right, you guys ready for the big star? Come on, all right, here we go. Gary the retard. And Gary gets up on stage and Bob goes in the shot. We spray painted Gary's head black and gave him the Hitler mustache, and we taught him how to do Heil Hitler. Yeah. And every time he did it, everyone would laugh their ass. He was doing it for weeks on end, and my friend Jason Stewart, who travels with him, I dropped him off at the airport once, and Jason was just worn out because he's with Gary the retard 24/7, and he's getting out. He's like, I just want to go to sleep, and I go, all right, man, have fun. Hey, Gary, have a safe flight. Hey, what did I teach you about the Hitler? And he goes, oh. Right in the middle of the airport, everyone's staring at him, and the guy goes, and Jason's walking away from him like.
You didn't get any sleep.
Yeah. I was at
these guys had him Heil Hitlering in like a Walmart.
Last Christmas, I was at the Caroline's Christmas party at their club. Or maybe it was 2 Christmases ago. And I'm sitting there having a drink. I'm talking to... I think I'm talking to Dave Attell. We're just having a conversation. And an enormous retarded hand just comes down on my head, onto my forehead, and pulls my eyes back, and Attell's like, who the and it's like, hey, turn around, it's Gary the retard with Greg. I'm like, what the am I here for?
I'm not going to leave him in the room. And
spitting all over the place.
What happens if you leave him in the room? Can he function?
If he walks out of the room, he's like a monkey loose in a hotel. You gotta take him out. You gotta keep him out. And it's weird because sometimes it's like, I mean, he's retarded, but sometimes he said some brilliant brilliant. I swear to God. Well, it's like, all right, we went to breakfast after the last time Casey was on the show. Casey's trying to be sober, and he's got a sponsor with him. So we go to breakfast, 10 o'clock in the morning. I get orange juice, water. Casey, what are you going to get? I'll have a beer. And everyone kind of freezes up. His sponsor's right there. And then we go on with the rest of our order, and Gary goes, hey, what'd you get, Casey? And he goes, I got a drink. What kind of drink? And he goes, just a drink. Orange juice? No. Water? No. What kind of drink? He goes, just another drink. And he goes, next question. You coming to Vegas with us? Yeah, I'm going to Vegas. You going to gamble with me? And he goes, probably not. How come? And everyone at the table was like, shut the f***.
Now, this is the brilliant stuff that guy
What's so brilliant about that?
It's brilliant because he's like...
Wait a second, your setup was sometimes he comes up with brilliant stuff.
I expected some kind of platitude.
All right, I bring him backstage. What was
brilliant about that?
Just the fact that everyone at the table noticed that Casey had ordered the beer and we're trying to
brilliant would be E equals MC squared.
Yeah.
And there was no brilliance there. He just doesn't know that Casey ordered a beer.
All right, I'll tell you a brilliant move. I bring him backstage to Disturbed concert last year here in New York, and I walk him to the production office, and my friend who works for the band goes, he goes, oh, Craig's here. Hey, and he tells his buddy who wants to be a comedian, he goes, I want you to meet a real comedian. And it gets quiet for half a second, and Gary goes, hi, I'm Gary.
That isn't brilliant.
For a retard, that's brilliant.
All right, let's get to the Kinnison.
Do that on... Oh, forget
When are you going to be Kinnison forever?
Great.
I want you to be Tracy Morgan forever.
Yeah. He's a real black dude. You don't know, Artie. Everybody's terrified.
You got to get a tape of Tracy Morgan speaking.
You got to get Tracy and
exactly what he
Tracy's...
sounds like.
I bet you Fred could look up a Tracy Morgan bit from Raw Dog. We can A-B the voices.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's one that he does that I love that I know you're not into Kiss, but I love Paul Stanley.
You do Paul Stanley? I don't even know what he sounds like, and I've met him.
Paul and Gene in interviews are both ridiculously crazy. There's one I always quote on stage that was a VH1 interview. The interviewer said, a lot of people think that Kiss should give it up. What do you say to those people? Paul Stanley's response is, the great thing about being in Kiss is a lot of bands don't even get invited to the big dinner, but we're the kind of band likes to stick around for the roles. What the f***? And then they pan over to Gene, and with no way, Gene goes,
You know what Paul is saying is absolutely true. The great thing about being in KISS is some people like steak and some people like ice cream. But you don't have steak with ice cream, and that's why KISS is so great.
Now on stage, Howard, Craig throws Gary Dell'Abate into that mix.
Like
or Gilbert Godfrey.
Or Gilbert Godfrey. Like, if Gilbert Godfrey makes as much sense as the guys from KISS, to have Gilbert Godfrey and there with some KISS makeup on going, oh, sure. You know what Gene and Paul are saying is absolutely true. The great thing about being in KISS is it's like being in the Beatles on steroids. Isn't that right, Paul?
You know, that is true. That's why KISS is the greatest band in the world.
And if it's right, I mean, they got, between the two of them, they have the greatest quotes. When they had the Rock Against Drugs campaign, there was a line from Paul Stanley where he said, you know, if you're a girl and you have an opportunity to be with me, why would you want to ruin such a bombastic moment with drugs and alcohol? A bombastic moment.
That's what happens when you get too much money.
Yeah.
You getting laid on the road?
No sense.
So you getting laid on the road or what?
Oh, anything that moves, Craig will.
And we would try and screw it up for him. Like, he brought this beautiful girl to dinner one time in Chicago, and we knew she was coming there to meet him. We told Gary the retard, we say to Craig, are you going to chick in the ass? She gets there.
We walk in the dressing room, and Gary goes, Craig, I want to tell you something. And then everyone in the room is laughing, and I go, hold on. And I grab the girl, and I go, come here, let's go to the bar. We go to the bar, I come back in, and I go, Gary, what were you going to say to me? And he goes, why are you going to Don't ever say that to me, Gary. Not in front of people, all right? Don't ever say that to me.
I just can't believe what a heart you have. You like Gary will be alone in his room, and you'll come and get him. I mean, that's really nice.
Wouldn't you? I mean, if the guy...
No, I wouldn't. I'm not that nice.
Gary's been alone in many rooms. We've never gone together.
Trust me, I've never went to looking for Gary the retard.
Howard, don't let him fool you. Gary's our headliner. If he doesn't take care of him, we don't have a...
There's one show we did where...
I'd put him in a cabinet and lock it until there was showtime. Where's Baba Fooey?
You know, and I'm just looking at an instant message I got from Kid Chris. He said this is okay to talk about, at least on his end. He said that him and Craig both got chlamydia from the same chick.
Whoa!
Good job.
It's not true. I actually...
Thank you for checking that with Greg.
The Kid Chris doesn't mind.
I hooked up with a chick, and Chris said, hey, did you ever bang that chick? And I was trying to be discreet about it, and he goes, yeah, because she gave me chlamydia. I mean, she obviously had gotten taken care of before I hooked up with her.
Oh, I see.
So,
he's disgusting. One time, I think it was in Chicago, we go on a bus back to the airport. We're sitting on the bus. Craig's like high-fiving everybody. Got laid last night, got laid. And he goes, look. And he flips up his hand. And embedded between his fingernails is red. All his fingernails are red. He goes, I fingered this period. He still has dried blood.
Dude, that's what I said. I fingered this period. That was
Richard, am I lying?
No, he's telling the truth.
Wash your hands.
I didn't know they were dirty. There was one show
off your fingernails.
There was one show where a girl showed up that I knew we were supposed to hang out that night, but she was acting like such a whore at the show. She had a slutty outfit on. She was yelling through everybody's set. Sal's getting irritated. He's yelling at her to shut the f*** up. And finally Sal says, get up on stage. And the girl got up on stage, got on her knees, and let Sal on stage.
You banged her.
No, but Richard afterwards, Richard was always hammered before the second show. He came to me and goes, hey, Craig. He's got a little bit of spit on his mouth. Hey, do you see what Sal did to that girl? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you still got to
He still banged her. He didn't care.
And he has that sound like a
Look at you.
seal get
That's exactly what Richard does.
But look at you being a I didn't know you would.
I had just become single.
Dude, don't flatter him. That's not real. You're not talking about Beth Ostrowski, you know what I mean?
But who can get that? He's fucking anything he can on the road.
Oh, this Smash girl, we were in Pennsylvania. She looked like Bela Lugosi with long hair. Her tits were hanging down to her belly button. She had breath like a sewer. And Greg...
Don't you have any standards?
Yes, dude. I mean, he's fucking exaggerating everything. He's exaggerating everything.
Oh, my God, they're vile, disgusting.
You wouldn't even...
Would, but
I was single.
Actually, I met one chick in Hartford at the Webster Theater who you supposedly were with or going to be with, and she was grotesque. But I tell you, but normally I'd be like you. You can't if you're single on the road.
about...
Artie, are you telling us to get ready for the grotesque?
Exactly.
Yeah, Artie's going to be having a party.
I'm getting ready to let the grotesque floodgates open.
Craig, on the night...
Artie might even...
The night we had Artie's roast, actually, I'm surprised you weren't invited. You could have shown up as Kinnison or one of your characters and roasted Artie. I thought that would have been funny.
I would have loved to. In 2 days, we're doing over at Brewer's Show. I think, Artie, you doing the comedy covers?
Oh, you're doing that, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have me do a comedy cover. Everybody's doing, it's like a cover song, but a comedian.
What are you going to do, Kinnison?
Kinnison. We're going to close out with
What
Kinnison.
bit? Do it for us.
Well, it's up to... I was going to wait till the last minute to do it, but I mean, you want me to do a Kinnison bit? I'll do it right now.
Yeah, bring back Kinnison for a minute.
I will.
Do one of his... Which bit, though? Because I want to know which one you're doing. Do a good one.
I'll tell you one that's never been put on a record before. That somebody told me. It was about...
Maybe it wasn't put on a record because it's not that good.
It's about Nostradamus. And Sam was on stage and he said, I studied Nostradamus, and I found this guy very fascinating. Because here's a guy who, during his time, was able to see major world events. He predicted world wars, predicted World War I, World War II, predicted the rise of Hitler. He fucking almost named the guy. He said the great Hister would rise out of the East. If you know anything about Nostradamus, he said the Hister, and they think that it was actually Hitler. And I'm watching this, and I'm reading this, and I go, wait a second, this is very fascinating, because... What if Hister hasn't shown up yet? What if this is the guy that's going to make Hitler look like a... Oh, fuck, not Hister! Oh, Jesus!
Artie, how are you gonna do that show? And he got that Kinnison impression.
Well, he said he's closing.
Oh, he's closed?
That's gonna close, yeah.
What bit are you going to do?
I don't even know yet. I haven't thought about it. I just said yes to doing it. I don't know.
He's got the impression, man.
There was a guy last time.
Well, that's why you close with that. Absolutely.
There was a guy who came in last time that had a...
Why don't you go on Broadway and just do a tribute to Sam Kinnison?
We talked about that.
Yeah, I'll produce that.
Howard, we talked about it. I remember when I was being...
You mind getting in Sam Kinnison makeup?
I think it'd be great.
This is a big coat.
Yeah, I'll hire one of those Saturday Night Live guys to make you look like him and put you in a beret and get up there and do an hour of Kinnison material and get the paid.
People are listening.
Just get the I like the audience at our shows, Howard. Get the
People yell that out
all the time.
Yeah, right.
How long does Gary the Retard do? How long is he able to stay on stage?
He just comes on for a couple minutes, takes questions from the audience.
We did the flu.
Me and Richard do the Shoo Retarded Flu live.
Gary has been getting trailed by the retarded flu all over the country, and every time it's just...
Hey, we can play the original now.
Yeah.
I gotta play that.
And while he's on stage, it's like, oh, Gary. And then he just, oh, you son of a... gets pissed that he's there at every show.
He starts looking above him and stuff.
There was one night we were in Dallas, Texas, and Gary was really tired, really grumpy, really ornery, and a guy in the front row at the end of the show was like, Gary, give me some beads. He had beads on him for some reason. And he goes, give me some beads. And Gary goes, no, the show's over. And he goes, sit down, you and everyone went, whoa! Right in the middle of Texas. I mean, it was just like, oh.
That was me with the earpiece.
Because he hates black people, hates Jews. He's got a whole thing going. I didn't know. I thought he was just like a lovable retard. He's the anti-Semitic, anti-black retard.
He's normal.
Maybe he's Hister.
He's normal.
He's retarded! He doesn't know the difference!
See, I think a Broadway show with you doing that is perfect. That Hister bit is better than when Sam did.
We talk about it every year. You know,
on the show.
With Sam, anything. I mean, it's like you could take...
I mean, you
can just update everything.
I'm going to write you a touching thing about him dying in a car crash. Like, he'll come out and go, I had a short time on Earth, and, blah, blah.
And the message is, wear a seatbelt!
And we can write jokes based on people who've passed away as well. Like,
no, you're not in this. I'm producing this with Craig. We can.
Well, JFK Jr. with the plane crash.
Actually, it's Richard and Howard and Craig.
Oh, what the You just got the brown helmet, buddy!
Sal, Richard's producing it with me. I've already promised that.
We'll meet for a writing lunch later.
All right, thank you.
You know what he does great, Howard? A great Kinnison, great Kinnison that, again, is not stand-up. He does the back-to-school segment.
That's great.
To the T.
What are you talking about?
You know the speech when Kinnison's like...
With Rodney,
Can somebody tell me who was it that won in the Korean conflict? Can somebody tell me what it was that Dice said the last time he was on the show? And why he said we were actually friends when we weren't. Does anybody know the answer?
Wait, you're going on.
No. Stay with the real thing, dude. Why are you ad-libbing? And by the way, on the Broadway show, if you ad-lib, I'm going to chop your head. You're a worse writer than me.
We should put it with shock his balls when he ad-libs.
Cut the spotlight!
Give me the best Kinnison bit that has ever been done.
Stick to the script.
Yeah.
The best Kinnison.
I'm producing the play right now.
I think it's one about Jesus.
No,
do you remember
do the back to school.
Yeah, do the back to school right.
Do it for real. Great. Yeah. You don't remember it or what?
Can anybody tell me why it was that we pulled out of Vietnam? Artie?
There you go.
Artie, do you know the...
You want me to do the chick?
Yeah.
The chick? Yeah. So what does the little girl say? She says...
really politically correct.
Yeah, well, because... I forgot what she says. I remember what Rodney says. I can't do the chick, though.
Tell me what the chick says. I'll be the chick. Artie will be Rodney.
It's just some politically correct. Well, we pulled out of the Vietnam conflict because... Blah,
right,
blah, blah,
she says some politically correct.
We should have somebody print it out.
Is she right? Is she? Huh? I know that's what you want to believe. That's right. I wish I could believe that. But I was there. I wasn't like you guys. I wasn't hanging out. I wasn't having fun in the 70s smoking pot. I was there. I was down there in the with my machine gun, wearing a headband, fighting off the commies while you. We're dealing with
That's awesome.
And then Roddy comes in.
Right now, he gets right in the chick's face. She starts crying.
What does Roddy say, Artie?
He says something like...
Because he asked Rodney a question, right?
Well, he says something like
what did you say to Rodney?
MacArthur should have, pushed back those commie bastards.
Yeah, I don't remember what that last part of that is, but
I can't remember the whole thing.
Dangerfield said, "Hey, take it easy. She's just trying to," and he walks up and goes, "Yeah, well, maybe you can tell me why the they pushed back to the 42nd parallel. Oh!" And then Dangerfield, "Well, because we had to push those commies up," whatever. And then Sam just mellows out and, I like you. We're going to get along just fine. Yeah. There was a great Dice and Kinnison story. Did you ever hear about Dice getting arrested in front of Ben Franklin's?
No.
The restaurant? And Bill Kinnison verified the story for me. Apparently, Dice walked into this restaurant. I had a friend of mine who was doing security on a tour that saw this unfold. Dice had tortured some waitress at this restaurant years earlier. They got him thrown out. He comes back in a couple years later. Apparently the way the law works is even if a few years have passed, you can't go back into this establishment. And so this woman, as soon as she sees Dice walk in the restaurant, picks up the phone, get this guy the They arrest Dice. They start pulling him outside of the restaurant. Corvette pulls up into the parking lot, license plate X-Rev. Sam gets out with these two blonde bimbos, walks into the restaurant. The cops recognize Dice and go, "Sam!" Or they recognize Sam. They go, "Sam, what's going on?" And Sam goes, "Hey, guys, what's going on?" It's, oh, what did you do now, you loser? Put that guy away for being a oh! And the cops are laughing. They threw Dice in the back of the cop car and they waved to Sam. That's
So what are you going to do? You going to go on Brewer's show and do a bit from our Broadway show?
A word for word Sam Kinnison bit from one of his albums.
You can do it for Brewer.
The first time.
Why are we doing that for Brewer when we're going to be putting it on Broadway?
I didn't have anything like any of his old bits prepared to do in here. I just.
Well, I'm talking about the Broadway show now. I'm talking about making some money.
Well, it's a great story too.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy was a preacher.
I would go see you as Sam Kinnison.
Absolutely.
Whatever happened to the movie they were going to do? Wasn't his brother going to do a movie?
I was making
you were
going
to do one.
It is a great story, man, when you think about it.
I had a hard time with it. I had a guy ready to write the script. I bought the book rights, and everyone in Hollywood was kind of saying, we think it's too soon. The guy, and it was a tragic death, and it was kind of maudlin, and they kind of were afraid of it.
They were probably scared off by that Belushi debacle film Wired, because that bombed so bad.
Yeah, but the guy, this is going to sound weird, but the guy I wanted to play Kinnison, but you got to really think about it for a second.
I remember you saying this.
Robin Williams.
Right.
And I know that sounds weird, but I believe Robin Williams could have done it. Not that he could have done a Sam Kinnison impersonation.
He's a great actor.
He just would have pulled it off.
And he's a performer.
Yeah, and I know that sounds weird, but it took me...
I think that's good casting.
Yeah, I think, and that would have been the guy, and he knew Kinnison, and I knew they were friends. I know Robin Williams didn't like me because I said he married his nanny. Shame on me, but I was thinking, man, he's the only guy I'd want to get to do it.
Did you ever approach him?
No. Because the studios, even when I'd mention Robin Williams, they would, they said, like, nah.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked.
That's a strange reaction.
They wanted nothing to do with Kinnison, whether he was alive or dead.
Bill Kinnison wanted Sean Penn to play him and Chris Penn to play Sam.
Oh, my God.
Oh, gee. What is he thinking?
What kind of crazy
I think Chris has more in common with him now.
Chris did look like him, though, a little bit.
Yeah.
But now some time has passed. Maybe they'd be more into it.
Maybe.
You know, Howard, with this Broadway show, you can reenact all of those scenes with Sam back in the days of K-Rock.
Banging Jessica Hahn, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jessica, you want to be in a Broadway show?
Hi, I would love to, baby.
All right, here's what your part's going to be.
Okay.
So Craig, of course, is going to be Kinnison.
Okay.
You stage it. He's and you clean it up.
I can do the cleaning up part.
All right, so you're going to have in the show.
The show will be sponsored by Bounty.
And I could do Sam, what did you do? And you could just go,
Shut up and blow me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're always rambling on about nothing.
Well, I got the Jessica Hahn character played by Jessica Hahn.
Hey,